it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's stealing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Grab shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off we go here on a beautiful Wednesday. I am Brandon Beam, hanging out tonight with DeVier Posey. It's DeVier Posey Wide Receiver Wednesday. Of course, our man behind the glass, he is Jacob Reimer. Depot, great to talk to you, buddy. What's happening?
What's up, Beam?
Doing all right?
Look, I feel honored to be on with you guys. This is my first time.
It's my first time doing a show with you, too.
But here's it. You guys never invited me on as a guest, so I forgive you guys. All right?
Oh, come on.
I wasn't going to. I will wake up at 6, man.
Everybody says that until they have to do it.
Right. Until you have to actually do it.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Come on here.
We had Murph.
I got you.
So we had Murph in last night. Patrick Murphy made a surprise visit to us. He was hanging out. He lives right down the street from here. Yeah. And he goes, it's a thing amongst the Ohio State beat. Like whenever they receive a text from me to ask them to come on at either 6:30 or 7:30, how all of them groan. How nobody wants that responsibility to come on in the mornings. I said, well, now nobody has an excuse because it's 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so you're an early riser guy.
I am. I get up. I like to.
What time's your alarm set for?
I'm a 5:36 guy.
Yeah, that's a good time.
If we would have known that, then that would have been a horse of a different color.
Yep.
The thing
I listen to you guys in the morning.
Well, and Beam would say, like, our most listened to time was like 6:45 to 7, like probably about 7:45, 8 o'clock, maybe 8:15. Yeah. I was like, I know that 7:30 seems bad. I'm like, but that was peak listening
time.
That's
the sweet spot.
That was the sweet spot.
Right.
You're getting
at the back half of the show.
Yeah, a lot of people that are like right in the middle. It's like, 8:30 sounds good, but I'm like 7:30 is right when you want to be there. So it was a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, it's good. You got kids, you wake up.
Well, it's so crazy. That's how I was introduced to talk radio, was on those drives to St. Clair Elementary in Cincinnati, right at 7:30, right? Like listening to talk radio. That's how I wanted to be.
God knows how that drive is too.
Man.
That's a crazy town for driving.
Cincinnati. Yeah, the streets are smaller there. Yeah.
Well, there's hills down there too. It's not like it's pretty flat over here. Cincinnati's crazy.
I always get on my mom about giving me a stick shift for my first car in Cincinnati.
That was great. That was a great learning experience, though, for you.
Well, that rollback, I had to get used to it early. So, I mean, we lived on a hill, so it was nuts. That was a thing for me when I first got my license.
Can you drive a stick beam?
I can't. No, I haven't even tried it.
So that's what I learned on my buddy's Ranger in high school, and so then my first car in the NFL was you got a Jeep.
I had a Jeep. Yeah.
Yeah. So my first one, I bought a used 90. No, this was 2006, so it wasn't that old, but it was a 98 Jeep Wrangler, big tires, everything. I wanted a standard. I wanted a stick because I'm like, stick you can drive forever.
Yep.
And I hadn't driven one in like 15 years when I got it. And the guy was like, I'm driving, it's raining, I'm stalling out, the lanes in Dallas are tight. It was brutal. Yeah. But I said, my son, and you guys will be here before you know it, what's your oldest, second, third grade?
Fourth.
And then fourth. Yep. So it goes fast, but my oldest will be getting his temps here in about 15 days.
God.
Is he excited to drive?
Not really.
Because kids aren't even excited to drive anymore.
I was so pumped when I got my license. Well, when I bought my car, when I bought the $2,500 1999 Buick Regal.
That's a good first car.
I was telling Schlegs and Bob the other day, I put a pair of 12-inch subwoofers in it. It was my first big purchase after the car. Yeah, I want you to think about that mental image, all right?
So, wait, no, the speakers cost more than the car.
Probably. I think they did. I had to put in a lot of work to be able to get those bad boys
That's a
rolling.
Buick Regal, man. That's a luxury automobile.
It drove like a boat. Yeah. It was all good, but it was the sign of freedom. And to your point, DeVier, I feel like no kids are really that excited to even drive anymore.
Dude, boys are nerds now, man. Like they don't. When I was in like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, it's like, hey, I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to get a driver's license so I could go to a girl's house. I could pick up a girl, take her on a date, do things like
hang out with your boys.
I hated being the freshman and the sophomore dudes would date the freshman girls because they
had cars.
They could pick them up.
They had cars.
And you can't.
It's an unfair advantage, coach.
And so now it's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, what do you mean you're good? I'm going to sit here and play these. I just built my son the computer. I'm going to send you a video of it, Beam. I sat there and watch it. It's like watching The Matrix, like a real movie.
He has the computers, the curve screens.
I've got him on a 55-inch TV. Yeah. But Coach Parker, Kenny Parker over at the Ohio State weight room, he's a nerd.
Yep.
And so he builds computers. So he talks me into building a computer.
Okay.
And then I got about 90% of the way there. I couldn't get it working, 95. And like, what good is 95% of a computer? It doesn't run. But like, it was close. Some of the lights were turning on, not everything. I give it to him. Next day, it's like, oh, here you go. Fixed it all up. Thing looks beautiful. And it's got, he helped me buy everything. It's like this souped up, unbelievable deal. Yeah. And so I sit there and watch it. This graphics card, it's like 5 generations ahead of the PlayStation. It's like watching a movie. It's like I'm like watching Avatar here.
So this is a PC game computer that you built the monitor situation.
Dude, we had the motherboard, the CPU, all we're plugging in.
Are your kids into gaming?
I do have kids in the gaming, but Bobby's at an age where I wanted to ask, were you a Doom guy?
Oh, dude, so I got this one of the dudes, he brought this stuff back. And I've actually got one for you. He gave it to me. It's been sitting on my desk for years.
It was like that Nintendo?
The old Nintendos. This guy gave me this game that you plug in like a USB, like a little Nintendo deal, and it's got like 10,000 games on it.
Yeah, we got the Game Boy version.
It's got the Doom. And my RJ loved it. I was like, dude, this looks terrible. It's like a kindergartner's coloring book. Yeah. But it was awesome. It was you killing zombies.
It was point gun view.
Yeah.
It was like it was a first computer game.
It was the first person shooter game.
First person shooter. Yep.
I remember Duke Nukem was like big.
Yes,
that was big. That was big for me.
That was like the transition to Grand Theft Auto because you could like have illicit things going on with Duke Nukem. He wasn't a good dude. You could go into like some brothels and some different things. It was all there for you.
Yeah, it had everything you wanted. DeVier, since we haven't had you on yet here this week, I haven't gotten your thoughts on Texas and Ohio State being a noon kick. Because
is that official?
I'm pretty sure it is official now because we were doing the show on Monday. It got released that it was going to be broadcast by Fox. And then I'm pretty sure it was confirmed yesterday that it was going to be the noon kickoff. So, I mean, are you a noon game guy or are you a night game guy?
Well, me as a fan or me as the guy who works for the fan?
I'm talking you, DeVier Posey, right now.
I work for the fan, so that means a 5:45 wake for first game because we had the pregame show. So, probably 5 o'clock. So that's going to be a long day. Being that it's Texas and we have to wake up at 5. Woo! So I'm excited for that. But Fox's element, I don't complain about their product. I like their TV product. I know the time might be rough on fans, but I think Fox does a good job with their TV product. I even like how they do everything exact opposite of ESPN. They're even on the south side of campus. So I like Big Fox. I'm excited for them to have that energy here. I saw Urban at Obi Stillwell's
was it
breakfast
a couple days,
last night.
Yesterday or Monday?
So it was kind of getting me hyped up just hearing them talk, being on the microphone. Like, man, dang, football's around the corner. So I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, I didn't know because there's a wide spectrum of thoughts from Buckeye fans all over the place.
We had a streak last year. What was it, six in a row to end it? 6 straight.
Yeah.
So
let me paint you an image. By the way, the Nebraska call is all you need to know. Is Gus and Joel were done with big noon
Jack
for Ohio
Sawyer,
State. Touchdown. Good job, Buckeyes. Up 35, whatever. Let me paint you this picture, DeVier, of you sitting there. Now, they don't stay at the Black one anymore, but you wake up at like 8 o'clock, you take your walk, and then you go, you breakfast, eat, come back, have some meetings, have some time, and then you're looking outside. And you're just seeing all the people just slowly come on in there and the congregating. And it's like the state fair coming in. Yeah. They've got concerts playing. Recruits are walking around. You can smell like the beer and the food and everything. And you take the skull session walk and the sun's starting to set. And you feel like you're back in high school in Cincinnati about to get after it. Then you go in there and they got the fireworks. You come running out and it's night and it's Texas on the other side. And like you can feel like the little bit of Christmas starting to come in the air in the evening. I mean, that's it. I'm not against Fox. I'm just, if you made it 3:30, I'd be happier. Yeah. But like waking up with the sleep in your eye, trying to get excited for a game, that's just hard. Like the all day environment is just unbelievable. And by the way, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. It's going to be the hottest point. Yes. It's going to be the hottest game of the year at the hottest time. But so that's my theory with the Michigan game is that it's the toughest, hardest game you play the earliest. So like this Texas game is becoming that where it might be their toughest test literally at the earliest, most soonest part of the season, like the first slot.
Well, I guess
that is tough.
The good news about that is there's the old adage, like you don't sink or you swim, and just throw yourself right in the deep end. I don't know if there's a bigger example of that than first out of the gates, noon game, trying to get ready for this. First time some of these guys have gone through what is a game day operations at Ohio State. And then, on the other side is a guy and a team that you beat in a college football playoff semifinal. You ended their season a couple months ago, and now you've got Arch Manning on the other side looking for blood. Like that, that's a sink or swim moment right out of the gates.
I got to see him, like,
not a believer?
I got to see him, like, eat something first. Like, I got to see him, like, seek blood out. I don't know if he's a hunter yet, so we'll see.
Like, I'm just going to have a hard time being fully inebriated for a noon game. Like, that's the issue. Like, if you want my full passion, like, I need to have a nice ramp up there, Beam, where I can get started watching some other games.
Just do the show with DeVier on Saturday morning. You'll be good.
Yeah, but
then afterwards, you'll have a few hours to get yourself ready.
People frown, though, upon early drinking. And then
it's the game days at Ohio State, and you know this too, DeVier. Game days at Ohio State are like an airport. There are no rules.
There are no rules.
That's true, but
there's no rules.
I'm older. The Friday night, I've got to temper them.
Well, see, that's your own problem.
It is. Past Bob screws future Bob, as you always know about. Like past Bob, he's a real jerk, Beam, just like past Beam.
Yeah.
But remember this.
I like that.
The present is where time touches eternity, and so that's where we're going to live right now.
So it's been a big deal this week. Ross Bjork came out and talked about making some adjustments to Ohio Stadium. You guys played at Ohio State. We'll get your thoughts on how Ohio Stadium could become a better place to watch a football game next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Donato's is bringing you huge savings on a large pizza. For a limited time, get any large one-topping Donato's pizza for just $10.99 when you order online and pick it up. That's right, just $10.99. I'm going with that pepperoni. But hey, you pick your favorite topping, then pick up your large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 when you order online using promo code PICKUP. That's promo code PICKUP. Pick up your Donato's and save today.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little sunshine, otherwise breezy and warm, mid-70s, but also scattered showers and a few storms on this Wednesday. Overnight, we'll lose the showers and storms, mostly cloudy skies, down to around 60 by Thursday morning. Warm and a bit more humid on your Thursday afternoon. Back in the low to mid-80s, but also an isolated shower or storm possible in the afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out here on a Wednesday at DeVier Posey. Carpson studio with us as well.
It's a reunion, Beam.
Yeah, it's a little reunion. We were just talking in the break. Now, DeVier, you played at Ohio State. Bob, you played at Ohio State. What was the loudest you guys ever experienced Ohio Stadium in your careers? Can you pinpoint it to one moment?
Yep.
All right, what is it?
Final drive, Matt Barkley hits Joe McKnight on a 4th and 16th on it. That was 09. Yeah. So USC, and it was the first game being they did the 3D, like they had the 3D cameras, and they were like showing us.
That's by the way, crazy thing too to watch a movie or a game in your house wearing the 3D glasses.
Right.
That's a crazy thing.
Well, I didn't understand it. They were like, the game's in 3D. I'm like, so we're going to be on a screen in people's homes and you can put on glasses? I was like, this is crazy.
The game is in 3D for me. Yeah. I'm out here actually playing it. Yes, it is 3D.
That was probably the loudest for me, that game.
Okay.
I would probably have to say either 02 Michigan or 05 Texas.
Yeah.
That 05 Texas night game. And it's weird because they had the lead. They came out 10-0, and then we came storming back and took it. And so there were some points in the game where I remember yelling at AJ and Schlegs, like Nate Sally, and like you're just seeing their lips moving, and that's when it's like straight signals.
Yeah.
And we all played together, like Dante, Nate, Schlegs, AJ, and I, like the safeties and the linebackers had played together for basically the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And so it's like you look.
You're speaking telepathy.
You could give a head nod, like you seeing what I'm seeing, and we're good, because there was no verbal communication that was coming out. You couldn't hear anything.
What's so odd is that, I mean, you're coming from a defense perspective. Offensive perspective, on the road, it's loud. Yeah. So you guys are always feeling the full brunt of Ohio Stadium in terms of communication, because Ohio Stadium is pretty quiet, and that's why I said that drive, Barkley was on the field, our defense was on the field, because Ohio Stadium is normally quiet for me in my experience.
Well, we're good football fans. That's why. We trust the process. We're supposed to be quiet when the offense is on the field. We get it. And the silver bullets come on. And then you got guys like Bob who's like, hey, throw your hands up in the air. Let's go. Let's get this place cranking up.
Ohio Stadium is good, but the best trained crowd is Indianapolis. Peyton trained them so well that you could be in a 3rd and long. It's screaming. Then you come and you could just like talk out the issues on the sideline because it's not quiet, because Peyton has it's so quiet when Andrew Luck was back on the field. So you're like, man, what? Why are you still yelling, man? I can hear you. It's like, you're right, it is quiet over here. But perfectly trained crowds, I will give Ohio State, a good A-. If
you guys have been down to the stadium a lot since you've played, and you've been both as fan and in working capacities. If you had to make a change, what would it be? Just to game day environments. And I know that, there's obviously There's a lot of sporting venues here at Ohio State. I think the Shot obviously can use some work and some renovations and a lot of different things that can happen to it. But when we're talking about game day environments, what do you want? What to DeVier Posey makes Ohio Stadium one of the cathedrals and one of the greatest places to watch a college football game?
Make it like Cameron Indoor. Take the student sections and put it in the AA deck around the field.
All the way around?
Just put it all the way around. So the horseshoe is all students, and all the seating, what is it? C? C is which one? AA is
the lowest.
C deck. So just put everybody in the A section who are season ticket holders, and then it's crazy. We're right on you. We're right behind your bench.
I think visiting bench student section would be a good idea.
Right behind. I don't honestly like putting a lot of them in south stands because that's a pretty cool environment.
Let them do their own. Let them do their own thing up there.
So if you can get them if you can get them in overtime and you can get down there and play those situations like that. For me, it would probably be a way to feature music during breaks. Because that's why I was down at that Georgia-Tennessee game. Like music during breaks, there was like a lot of fan engagement. The crowd was
Sweet
into
Caroline.
It. Yeah, and like you're doing stuff during the timeouts. So when you come back out, I mean, people are like juiced up, ready to go. You've got, and it's not like DJs in house, but
because they tried that a couple of years ago, didn't they? The DJ.
But like Ohio State's got some cool, unique traditions to be able to kind of pull and summon some of those to be able to engage the students and some of the younger folks. And I know, like I'm getting old now, where I kind of want to go up and just hang out in the club level and stay inside. But
you're really showing your age.
I am. My kids, they want to get down there and cheer. Like they want to be in it. They want to be a part of it.
Bob to Sweet Bob now.
Yeah, it is. And that's kind of what I mean. It's sad. Now I'll get out there and I'll get after it and I'll scream and cheer when needed. But my kids are all about that, and so finding a way to engage with them, like and engage with the students during breaks and timeouts, and get them involved. Like I think that's a big deal.
So what are we doing now in between, like in commercial breaks on TV? What does the stadium do?
Yeah, so not much.
I can't even remember.
So they've got Bo always talks about the knocker ball, and I think they've got some races and different things like that.
This is a Brutus race.
Yeah, like fan interaction. Every stadium's got their own iteration
and
of that.
And that gives it like a professional-ish feel. Like who's the dude that dresses up in like the blue man?
Oh, the Freeze. Yeah, was it the Braves? The Freeze traces the guy down.
He races him around the side and all that stuff, and that's fine. And that's like for professional sports, when you get into the collegiate element of it, like finding a way to integrate them and bring them in, I think is really important because it's something that's wholly unique to American sports. Like nowhere else in the world do you have people that attend a school where they're playing a game like to the degree of this that you see in the United States.
Well, they just can't. True. They can't comprehend it. Like literally, the European mind cannot comprehend. I'm sure you guys have seen those memes on social media, but they can't. No.
No. Because what my thing is, like, I just see Harry Potter Quidditch in my mind. Like that's the only thing
that's not real. They don't have that.
That's what I'm saying. Like in Europe, that's the only thing that would mimic what we have here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying in my.
It would have to be like club soccer over there,
exactly,
or like an international, like whatever England's playing or Spain is playing. The whole country gets behind them. That's
because that's what it is.
Like, because you look at look at the country's population and you compare that to states over here. I mean, it is pretty similar.
Yeah. It's our state versus your state, essentially, like our school versus your school, and sometimes you have like the divided state, which is crazy in and of itself in between.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't know what Ross is doing. Obviously, it's a big off season for him, and I'm not exactly sure how these are going to be implemented for this season.
Yeah.
But if there's anything to go off of, going off of that Tennessee game where it was kind of taken out of their control, it was a college football playoff game, so they could do some things that were unique. Like, I trust that guy. That guy's done a pretty damn good job so far since being here, and I think that if he's in charge, he's probably got some ideas. He's got a great team around him. Like if he's out there saying it, it means that they already have something planned and they're up to something.
And he's coming from Texas A&M. The 12th man is one of the best crowds in college football, the most synchronized chants, and they do things from a military perspective. So I'm pretty sure it kind of like rubbed up against Ross just coming from.
He knows.
And I know about that 12. Drinking that pint with that gold ring at the bottom. I know all about those traditions down there.
Ole Miss to A&M, and so he's seen it. He's been to other SEC schools, and so trying to figure that out. And in all fairness, like there's been a lot of changes in society over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And so I understand,
to your point about your kids not wanting to drive anymore.
What Gene was doing. But the problem is, as I'm telling you about my son playing these video games that look like real life at the house, I can sit at home with a 65 to 85 inch TV that costs a couple $1,000s. And those things used to be like 10. You can get them now 65 inch for $500.
Yeah.
If you want, you get some surround sound. You got your own drinks.
No, I laugh when people try to resell their TV. Like, just go buy a new one.
100%. And so that's, you have all the creature comforts. It's not like it was when we were growing up. Like, well, this thing stinks. I mean, you feel like you're in there and the sound's all around you. So you have to convince people to get out there. And when they get there, I need an amplified experience.
Yeah.
You know, it can't just be, I remember I was at the last game in 98. They beat Michigan. Ohio State did, and it's the last one on the original field that was there at the normal level before they dug it down. It was at the track and Jesse Owens. And it was cool to be able to say that I was there. I don't know if that still matters to fans, like to be able to tell your kid, like, I was at that game. I went there and I dug a little piece of earth out with my fingers of the grass, and I mean, it was late November, so I tried to
permafrost.
Tried to plant it in my parents' yard. In my mind, that it's rooted up and it's there. I don't think that it is.
Time.
Yeah, it's not exactly
a great story,
ideal.
But like, how did it do?
Everybody, and my dad probably pulled it up and said it still was there and it was all good. He probably lied to me and it was fine. But I was like a freshman, and I was like, man, this is unbelievable. And to be able to say that we ran down on the field and to be a part of that, and I just don't know if like society's kind of in that same mindset. I mean, you're on a turf field now. Like, it's just there's not as much of the I don't want to say tradition, but maybe we become immune to those things because the in-home experience is so good. So you've got to convince people to get out there. When you get them there, you have to engage with them at a high level.
Well, I think what's happened is the tradition and the attachment to something bigger than me is leaving, and entertainment. We're just becoming an entertained society. We want to be entertained.
100%.
And so our entertainment level, we're trying to entertain people with old traditions, and it's just not working.
Yeah, our attention spans aren't the same.
Exactly.
They're not. I mean,
that's true.
You know, I mean, I'm scrolling social media all day. I call it scrolly fun
Probably
time.
during that commercial break we're talking about during the game.
100%.
Let me check.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, they've got some things to work on, but I'm sure they have. Bob, thanks for popping in tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, come in anytime. How's the show been, all right?
We're working through some things, Beam. You know, it's kind of like Ryan Day with the quarterbacks in spring ball. Who's your starter? No one. We're not good enough yet. So we're working through the technical elements. The good news is the team's working really hard on it. Another week or two may have been beneficial, but you know what? You play the hand you're dealt.
All right, Big Dog. Thanks for coming in. Have a great show tomorrow. All right, we're still hanging out here on the Buckeye Show. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we had some changes to the formatting of the college football playoff. It could be coming as soon as this year. That's in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
That's a good-looking ball.
The sudden roars. That Sunday celebration.
Jack always made the punt at 18, and today, Scotty Scheffler did.
Witness the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, May 26th through June 1st. It's second to none. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Wow, what a shot.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system. Building strong, lasting relationships, we're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hey, we here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Got DeVier Posey in tonight. Bob's just leaving. So we played in a golf outing last week. We played in the Joe Burrow Foundation golf outing. It was down in Cincinnati.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. So they had an unbelievable amount of, like, their swag bags was crazy. Like, they had an Under Armour refrigerator backpack for us. Like, it was and by that I mean a cooler. A cooler backpack. I got like a Bengals polo, Bengals towel, all kind like rain gear, hat. Yeah. And then we were allowed to pick out a pair of sunglasses. My wife is a huge sunglass snob. And so I'm like, well, usually for my fat face, Ray-Bans, they don't fit really well. So I've got to get mine usually over at like Warby Parker. Plus, I'm a prescription sunglasses guy. Yeah. So that doesn't really work with me not having prescription lenses. And so I got her some really nice, Ray-Bans. I'm like thinking of her. I'm like, yeah, this would be good. You like your sunglasses. And then Bob was just showing you. He asked me when he was leaving. He goes, did you get the Meta glasses? I'm like, no, I just got regular ones. And you put them on, and apparently you can play music through them.
They're really cool.
That was like living in 2050 for me, seeing how those worked.
So you're just realizing
I messed up.
That's how much you love your wife.
I know.
You are a great. Let's give him the Husband of the Year award, or at least this quarter, because you passed on Meta glasses to get her glasses.
I know. Well, I could have gotten her Meta glasses, and I didn't even realize what they were. I had no clue. I'm not a big tech guy.
I've been hearing about these Meta glasses. I didn't know if they project and you can see images or you can see something right in front of you, which would be nice. But the sound quality, great. If you got a chance to grab some of those, I don't know if we're doing Ray-Ban ads, but hey, those are fire.
Hey, if they want to come on aboard, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, I didn't know how they worked, and you just had them on. You asked, like, can you guys hear this? Like, no, can't hear it at all. I didn't even know where the speakers were at, and they were in like the side of the glasses.
We're headed towards just chips and just playing music in our heads.
Yeah.
We're headed towards that.
Are you a microchip guy? If they offered you the chip, are you going into the Matrix? Or are you staying out?
See, I'm such a millennial.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I'm such about technology and just advancing humans and making our life easier. I remember being like, I wish I didn't have to have batteries in my Walkman. I wish I could charge this.
Yeah.
Now we have music devices we can charge. Like,
I wish I didn't need to. I could charge this. Wish I didn't need to charge this so much.
Right now, I had the first iPod. I downloaded Instagram when it first came out.
I had LimeWire on my computer.
I probably would do the 6-month temporary microchip plan. Like I could.
But what if they told you after the 6 months, like once you get it in, we're not?
Well, I would have to have a cliff. I would be like, at 6 months, let's have a cliff to where we reevaluate if I could take this out or not. Yeah. If I like life with the microchip. But I would try it for a little bit.
I think I would too. Yeah, I would. But I'll tell you what. So the millennials, and then you get to the Gen Zers. The Gen Zers blow us out of the water when it comes to technology. And it's not even close.
Not close.
My son's 2 years old, knows how to work an iPhone better than me.
Well, my oldest son has shown me how to get through YouTube ads.
Yeah.
Like you can, like my fingers aren't small enough, but he can click those little X's on the little banner pop-ups.
Yeah, like the survey ads.
He can push the X, or he'll be like, Dad, just click it, and then just click out. He was like, he taught me the time to just click it and click X is faster than sitting here for 30 seconds. And I'm like, oh, you're right.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man. Yeah. We got Rhyme Time over there. He's a Gen Zer. How adept are you in technology?
I'd say I'm pretty adept into it.
Yeah, you look like you're adept into it. You're over there on 16 different computers running a radio board. Yeah. Kind of have to be while you're over there.
Yeah.
Would you be a microchip guy?
What is it?
Would you be a microchip if they just straight brain implant? Would you sign up?
I don't think so.
Well, that's the difference between them and us.
100%. I'm just jumping in.
They think way more freer than we do, and also they party smarter than we did. They just do everything.
They don't
way
really
smarter.
party. The Gen Zers don't. No, that's a big thing.
Well, they do kickbacks. You know, we used to try and make it home.
Mm-hmm.
They're texting each other, see if you made it home. So, Reimer, listen, I'm jealous of you guys that you guys grew up with all this technology and this is just at your fingertips and it's your normal time. Like, we knew days, and I'm sounding like I'm old.
We are old.
I know. Beam, you're my age?
I'm 32.
Oh, yeah, you're my age, man. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always anticipating my screen time at the end of the week.
What do you have your screen time? You have your screen time report on from your iPhone?
Yeah, I get notifications.
Do you have this on?
No, I don't know.
Okay, what do you think it is? What do you think your daily screen time is on your phone? Just on your phone, let alone computers, TVs. Like, this is just phone screen time.
I got to push 8 to 10 hours a day.
On your phone?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Is that low?
I feel like that's pretty high.
It's pretty high.
I feel like 8 to 10 hours is pretty high. Reimer, because I know my answer. What are you?
Last week, I averaged 8 hours and 1 minute of screen time.
You guys are crazy. 8 hours of screen time just on your phone.
Hold on. I'm not conscious of this. Like you catch me.
I don't know how you find it, but I have my notifications on. And so I get a notification at like 3 o'clock every Sunday afternoon. It tells me I'm up 20% or I'm down 20%. I live in the area of 3 hours and 15 minutes to 3 hours and 40 minutes a day, screen time average on my phone.
Okay, it's actually worse.
You're more than 8 hours?
Oh, man.
This is my daily average.
Say it. DeVier, how does that happen? You're on your phone all day?
Well, I guess I am. My wife thinks I am, and I guess here's the numbers. The numbers
don't lie. Do you have a coach that told you that?
18,
numbers don't lie.
So I'm pushing 19 hours on my phone.
The only time you're not on your phone is when you sleep.
I'm not even sleeping, it sounds like. Holy smokes, I need to get some rest. I didn't rest last week, I guess.
I will say I have the YouTube TV app on my phone. And so, like, earlier today, like, I was getting stuff set up, and I'm just a sicko for college basketball and basketball in general. The NBA Combine's going on, and was wanting to see what some of the prospects were doing in their 5-on-5 games and was checking that out a little bit. So I had that going on my phone. That'll take up some of my screen time there.
DeVier, you're at 19 hours a day.
So, but here's the thing. Okay. The bulk of my time is creativity apps and productivity.
Okay,
and finance.
then you're good. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That makes you feel better about yourself. If it was 10 hours a day scrolling Instagram, that'd be a problem.
No, but I'm just watching basketball. Yeah, any chance that I get.
Yeah, well, you're just brain rotting over there is what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's pretty remarkable. I did see this come out early, 19 hours. That's.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize to me.
I need to apologize to my family.
I saw this from our boy Brandon Marcello over at 24/7 Sports. The powers that be in college football are seeking to change the seeding process to remove first-round buys for conference champions as early as this year for the college football playoff. Last year, as we know, the 12-team playoff consisted of the 5 highest-ranked conference champions, all of whom received automatic bids to the postseason, along with the 7 at-large teams. That's what the Buckeyes were. The new straight seeding proposal would not seed the 4 highest-ranked conference champions, number 1 to 4, but instead would give first-round buys to the top 4 teams in the final playoff selection committee ranking. Here's how your bracket would have looked last year if it was this situation that we're expected to now implement for this year. Your number 1 ranked team in the college football playoff still would have been Oregon. All right. So they would have been playing out of the Rose Bowl. But here's where it gets wonky. Georgia would have been 2nd. Texas would have been 3rd. Penn State would have been 4th. So Georgia, Texas both would have had a bye. As we know, Texas did not get the bye their opening round. Then we get to Penn State. Notre Dame would have been 5th. Ohio State 6th. Tennessee 7th. Indiana 8th. Boise State 9th. SMU 10th. Bama 11th. And then Arizona State, your last team in at number 12. Here's what the matchups would have looked like. And I think it's fun to jump into an alternate world here for just a little bit. So, again, your top 4 teams would have earned the bye, so that would have been no big deal. But you would have gotten Notre Dame, Arizona State right out of the gates. You would have gotten Alabama here at Ohio Stadium instead of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. You would have gotten SMU and Tennessee, and then you would have had Indiana hosting Boise State.
Those seem like more like – that's a good way to ease in the better games for the playoffs.
I agree with that 100%.
Because Dane, I, and Maddie, we're talking about how we were so excited, but the product in the first round was up for debate.
Well, remember, and I was talking to Austin about this a little bit earlier, like once we got through that Indiana-Notre Dame game on Friday, we're like, look at this. This is going to be the worst game of the weekend. Then you go back and you're like, well, that was actually the closest game of the weekend.
It was. I mean, Ohio State game was pretty bad, too, just in terms of, like, products. Now, the next round, no game more probably in the last 20 years, even games that I played in, that I enjoyed being up 30, like having 30 on the scoreboard and seeing second quarter in the Rose Bowl versus number one. I enjoyed the Rose Bowl so much. Oh, my God. Like, some people are like, oh, that game was boring. No, that game
was the best game of the season.
That was our full potential.
Yeah.
And so, for me, outside of that game, every other game was great in terms of a product that was put on for the CFP changes. But, Beam, I think I'm looking forward to shaking out of the season, seeing how these matchups will be more on par going into it. And then everybody is – I just don't think a conference champion should say, hey, you get a bye. Like, I think just looking at it from that view or lens that we need to reevaluate this because these teams are in different positions, or this league might not be what we thought it was when you stack up all 100%. Their victories. I just love that. I think this – in effect that this playoff system can autocorrect annually. That's great, because NCAA would take 3, 4, 5, 10 years to fix something. We would be stuck in a situation
on the quick end, 10 years.
Right, on the quick end.
Yeah.
So if CFP's like business model is set up to fix issues right away, and I think it's going to scale and it's just going to grow and get more viewers.
I do too, and I think that's a great point that you make there. I mean, that's what businesses do on a daily basis. That's what people do on a daily basis. Right. And to say, we signed a contract for 5 years and we're not going to change it just because we already signed the contract and we got money tied to it. I don't think that's a good way to operate a business at all.
Yep.
So it seems like, at least for now, that they could be listening to what the fans said and be like, hey, instead of just having Arizona State and Boise State and giving them a bye, why don't you just say you're in? You know, congrats, you're in. We're going to rank you how we're going to rank you. And if you're in the top 12, then congrats, and let's move on and let's go from there. And then we're just going to seed you on from there. Top 4 teams, boom, you get a bye, and then we're going to seed them and shake them out. And the schedule's going to play out how it is. I'm good with that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So, man. Now this will create unforeseen, like 13, 14.
There are more backlash at those positions than this year then.
It's going to bring that to the forefront.
Yeah.
And who sneaks in. And now if a bad like a Michigan team sneaks
in.
Like
Clemson. Clemson was 16 and they won their conference and they got in.
So it's going to create a lot.
You know?
That is going to create a lot. So I'm excited to see it.
I am too. I'm excited to see that, and I'm excited to see how the Buckeyes come out this year. Hey, we had Pat Murphy in studio last night, and he was alluding to the rankings of the position groups at Ohio State after spring ball. We're going to go over that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hardscape pros, are you tired of working with broken down tools and chasing paychecks? At 9 Trees, we respect your craft, invest in the best equipment, and back our crews with full benefits and top pay. We're not just offering you a job, we're offering you a career. If you're a seasoned pro, work with a top patio builder that treats you like family. Call 9 Trees at 614-921-9595 or visit 9treeslc.com to apply. 9 Trees Landscape Construction. The best reputation, the best compensation.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
If my buttery smooth voice represents the photos in your social media feed,
then this is closer to what real life is like. Social media can be fun, but remember, it's only showing you
the filtered version of life. So when social media is stressing you out, check in on yourself and remember, it's not the whole story. For more tips on reducing your stress, go to mha.ohio.gov/check-in. A message from the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes, let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The only radio show that bleeds scarlet and gray. This is the Buckeye Show.
Hey, by the way, got Joshua Perry coming up here at 7:30, a little bit later on. You back in town yet fully, JP?
I think he is back in town.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's going to be good. Excited to talk to JP. You know, he's got another baby on the way. You got young James, too, running around the house.
Absolutely. He's an Olentangy legend. I tell you what, I was up there. We called some games. I think we were at Berlin, back-to-back weeks. And, you know, the way they talk about Joshua Perry and Olentangy, he is a legend up there. So looking forward to catching up with him.
Central Ohio's finest.
Absolutely.
Joshua Perry. So that'll be good coming up here at 7:30 this evening. We'll get to talk to him. One of the YouTube comments says, I don't think the matchups are correct. Same 12 get in. So no Bama. Boise's still in, but Boise doesn't get a bye. Yeah, I messed that up. Yell at Pat. I was reading Pat's official reaction to that on BuckNuts. So also Clemson would have gotten in too.
At 12.
Yeah, but
right.
Regardless, I still think it's a good positive that we're moving in the right direction with the college football playoff seeding. Because, I mean, you know this, DeVier. You talk a lot of college football with people. It's like, yeah, that format was kind of dumb. And so it seems that a few months on that they're changing it, which is a good thing.
Yep. That's the best part about it. We were saying it on the last segment is you can see something and change it. And if CFP can autocorrect issues on an annual basis, we have a chance at some great entertainment.
100% we do. I was also reading another article from Pat when he popped in last night, and he was alluding to this. He went through and he re-ranked all 10 position rooms at Ohio State post-spring, going from weakest, I'm using air quotes. If you're watching the YouTube show, you can see that I'm actually using air quotes, to then strongest. Number 10, he puts a defensive tackle. I get it. There's been a lot of stuff happening around the defensive tackle position at Ohio State. You look first and foremost, both of your guys who played 70% of your snaps last year, boom, they're gone to the NFL. You got Hero Kanu transfer out to Texas, who you're going to get to see him week number 1. So already you had a guy with a lot of production from a defensive tackle standpoint leaving. Now, you do have some, obviously, key guys there. Caden McDonald, Edric Houston. They're going to need to be stepping up in a big-time role. But I understand why Pat put them at number 10. 1,000%. Okay? That's an unproven group right there. They also have Larry Johnson as their coach. So I understand both sides of that. Those guys, obviously, still going to be very good. Pat had them at number 10. Number 9 was defensive end. Same thing. You lose Jack Sawyer. You lose JT Tuimoloau. Okay, I understand that. Tough to replicate what those guys did for so long here at Ohio State. Number 8, it was actually surprising to me that this wasn't lower on the list. It's quarterback. DeVier, we've only seen Lincoln Kienholz for one game in the Cotton Bowl, and that was it. Yep. Like, we know what Julian saying is. You got to watch him through the springtime and then through the spring game and student appreciation game. But, I mean, if you're talking about uncharted waters, that's as much as it gets. Now, you have the ability to go back and look at what Ryan Day has done here, certainly as a coordinator and as a quarterback's coach.
He's a whisperer.
And say that, well, it should be higher up on the list. Yeah. But I understand with that being number 8 because you really don't know about these guys. And you know this. Until you go out there and you run out in front of 100,000 people in a live ball situation, man, it's different. It's a different situation.
One thing Ryan Day has been able to do in his tenure here, it's bring quarterback to Ohio State, from Ohio State's standpoint, into like the NFL's pro-ready like conversation.
Yeah.
Ryan Day has done that. And it's a fact. I mean, all the way from Justin Fields, CJ, is recently to Will. I mean,
even Kyle McCord, look at him.
And even
in the draft, he was drafted.
And you can even go back to when he was position coaching, that this is what he does. And we as fans, and even just in my short time as a radio, I think this is my, third quarterback competition. So he has conducted a quarterback competition, which takes a white glove approach, bottom line.
Yeah.
It does. Because it's one of the most mentally fragile positions. You can lose a guy literally to the portal if you make the wrong choice on a Thursday team for a quarterback.
Not only can you lose the quarterback, you could lose some of your other players if you go with a different guy. You know how this works. You've been in quarterback battles too. The room knows.
Well, even on top of that, you can lose a gap in your recruiting years if you don't handle quarterback competitions the right way. Ryan is the perfect person to handle a quarter competition with the understanding of the negative results. Like, yeah, I have like a Quinn Ewers gap, right? Where we have to play a McCord, or I'll have a situation where I could have an embarrassment of riches. I have a bunch of guys here. Yeah. And so in this team and this staff, I'm looking forward to seeing how they perfect this quarterback competition, like how they grade it on a daily, what measures are going to separate these guys. I think the Will conversation last year, what was separating Will was, hey, I just want to see you be the same guy every day. I don't know if that's going to win the competition this year.
You think it's got to be greater than that?
I think a guy might have to show I have the ability to be a guy. Like, we didn't need a guy to show they needed to be a guy last year with all of the talent around. So I think even the things we're evaluating them on might be a bit different this year going into it, because it's like, okay, I might need to be looking for a guy who's not just a manager.
Who can let it rip. Who can let it go.
So I'll let him handle that. He gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. He gets $12.5 million annually now. So congrats to him. He won a national championship. He deserves every penny of it. Safety is coming in at number 7, which kind of blows my mind. I'm like, I know you lost Lathan.
Yeah.
But you got Caleb Downs. All right. I mean, you got Caleb Downs, who is the best defensive player in America. And oh yeah, by the way, the best player in America is Jeremiah Smith, and he's on opposite side of the field as him. So I feel like that safety position, especially too with McInerney running that since he came back from Indiana, did a really nice job with Lathan and Caleb last year. I feel like I know that these guys may be untested, and that's a lot of this roster so far this year. And I know it's the offseason and we need talking points. But you got Caleb Downs there.
Yeah.
You got Caleb. He can save a lot of things.
Yep. I think as fans, we'll really get to see how good Caleb Downs really is and how special of a product he is in a player. And when I say product, like he is a product in terms of the human he is, the player he is, and how he carries himself as a businessman. Like, all of that is the product of Caleb Downs. But I think we got to see him in a limited fashion because of how good Hancock and Lathan Ransom were as players.
Totally.
So this year we're going to really get to see his full abilities, his full sideline to sideline, Ed Reed, And he is that kind of player. He's an Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Charles Woodson, when he played safety kind of guy.
He's a game breaker at that position, and those guys aren't walking around too often. Yeah, Jalen McClain, Malik Hartford probably going to go up. I know that Fahim Delane had a good spring as well. Linebacker coming in at number 6, Cody Simon, Sonny Styles, your anchors last year. Cody obviously leaving, going to the NFL draft, 3rd rounder with the Cards. Arvell Reese played a lot of football last year, right? I'm confident in James. I'm confident in that room. Running back's interesting. We talked about that a lot earlier in the week. You lose Quinn and you lose Trey, but you got James People there, who's a pretty highly rated recruit. C.J. Donaldson has changed his body a lot since even getting here from West Virginia. But I like the two-punch backfield that they've kind of shifted to now.
You got to go there. It's NFL's. It's the daily NFL. I think you got to have a lightning and a thunder type of approach. And Ohio State and Coach Locke, they understand that.
So offensive line clocking in at number 4. Cool with that. A lot of veterans back, a couple of big pieces in the transfer portal.
That warms my heart, man.
O-line back up at the top. That warms my
heart, man, because it's been such a – well, you look at all the guys that left the state during that time. I think we lost, number 1 offensive lineman at Clemson, I think about 3 or 4 years ago. That mindset has changed, and you can't speak enough about the job that Coach Fry has done. He has got first-round left tackles back at Ohio State, and I know we were really hard on him as a coach and just as far as his recruiting and things like that, but we didn't really speak about him as a developer, and that's his true skill set as a coach, either a developer or a great recruiter. I think he did a good job at making guys first round.
Well, yeah, especially look at the way that they played at the end of the season last year. Right. Makeshift offensive line. Cornerback was number 3, tight ends number 2, and then number 1, no surprise to anybody, wide receivers, the strongest position group, which I know if offensive line being good makes your heart smile, DeVier, offense or wide receiver does even more. No surprise in that. Hey, can a contract extension in college football ruffle the feathers of a long storied rivalry in the game? We'll do that in the College Football Pulse next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
This summer, save more with hot deals on Meyer brand must-haves for $2 or less all season long.
Like Meyer potato chips?
Yep.
Hamburger buns?
Of course.
Ketchup?
Absolutely.
How about Meyer lemonade? That's my favorite.
Yep, that too. Plus pickles, baked beans, cheese slices for sandwiches. It's your favorite Meyer brand must-haves for $2 or less all season long.
Now that is a good deal better.
Only at Meyer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meyer app.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining healthcare.
We've got a story about a little bean doing big things. Soybeans are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we use every day. And Ohio's farmers are growing some of the world's best soybeans. By using and eating soy-based products, you make a positive impact locally and globally. Say hey to the largest ag export in the U.S. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. Ohio State football 2026 target 5-star linebacker Xavier Griffin has decommitted from USC. He already has an official visit set up with the Buckeyes on May 30th. Also plans to take visits to Alabama, Texas, and Florida State. Some games on the NFL schedule got leaked earlier today. We learned that Kansas City will head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Also a pair of games on Christmas Day with the Cowboys taking on the Commanders and the Lions visiting the Vikings. They're set to release the full schedule for the 2025 season tonight. In baseball, the Guardians fell to the Brewers 9-5, snapping their 2-game win streak. The Reds look to end their 2-game losing skid later tonight against the Chicago White Sox. First pitch is shortly after 7 o'clock. NBA playoffs tonight with the Knicks shoot to close out their series with the Celtics, and the Warriors try to keep their season alive against the Timberwolves, who lead 3-1. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Hour 2 for us here. Brandon Beam, DeVier Posey. Rhyme Time did a nice job behind the glass here this evening. Again, a reminder, Joshua Perry, he's going to join us coming up here at 7:30 here later on. Reimer, what you got over there for us tonight, big dog?
So our guys, Bill Belichick is back.
Oh, boy, another Bill update.
So
You've been liking that Belichick situation, DeVier?
Man, I kind of like the Patriot. Like, people don't know the Patriots could be a reality TV show if you really go back in their time and from Deflategate to Robert Kraft to the internet. Like,
what happened with Robert Kraft? What are you talking about?
I don't know. So there's just a lot of stuff. I'm excited to see some Bill drama in college.
It could have been Bill. Bill could have been the mastermind behind the drama. It could be him.
The whole time it was him.
There was supposed to be a Hard Knocks, which would have been electric. But he was at the ACC spring meetings and sat down and joined Sports Center. Was asked about his situation with Jordan Hudson and how he's been addressing players. Here's what he had to say.
All right, so I know that you're aware that your relationship with Jordan Hudson has been a headline over the last few months. And all of the specifics aside, because a lot has come out in the last couple of days, how do you think that impacts your ability to coach this football team, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, that's, really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football. I'm excited to be back in the coaches' meetings and getting ready for, June, and then August when we get to training camp. So June will be a big recruiting month for us, and then August we'll start getting ready for the season. And I know that you're not on social media and you don't read as much as everybody else has seen, but when it comes to having conversations with your players, have you been able to talk about any of those things and the specifics of what's going on off the field? Yeah, no, I talk to the players, and when we meet with them, when they come in to visit and so forth, sure. And how have those conversations gone? Yeah, great. Well, again, we want to make the players the best that they can be, provide them the best opportunity on and off the field, and that's what we're about at UNC, and that's what we do the best for every single player we have.
I've been waiting.
That was a classic Belichick answer.
I've been waiting for this.
I mean, what do you talk about with your players? How do you even address that? Got a room full of kids who are 18 to 22 years old. She's 2 years older than them. Gonna be a bit weird, right? Or are they pumped for him?
I think that, honestly, you kind of gotta give OG the respect that OG deserves, man.
Yeah, I got 6 Super Bowls, all right? Do what I tell you.
But this is the tone I'm feeling from Bill. Is college media asking for the higher self? Like, because Bill sounds like, I'll play along with you guys. Like, I'll be entertained. Like I'll do this. Because Patriot Bill, those first answers, I don't think would have been as jovial.
Well, it's interesting because I was reading an article today. I guess a local TV station down in Raleigh also booked him for an interview when he was down at ACC Media Days. And a North Carolina spokesperson came up and went up to the TV station where he was supposed to do this interview and said, no girlfriend questions. So it was after the SportsCenter question aired, after Reimer cut it.
Yeah.
Then North Carolina and their spokespeople said, listen, we're done talking about this. We just want to focus on football. Do you not realize who you hired as your head coach?
Yeah.
That guy's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Anything he does is going to be picked up, and it is going to be under a microscope, considering that he has never coached college football before in his life as a head coach. So everything he does is going to be under a microscope, including his girlfriend.
Do you think a head coach in college, their relationship status is more important than the NFL?
I don't know how this would go over in the NFL. I think that he would have so much power within the Patriots organization that nobody would even
talk about it.
Nobody would dare even ask him, or he would just, because he's not required to do it. He's not required to do NFL media days. He's not required to get up in front of a podium. Everything was on a scheduled basis, where I need to do this after a game, or I need to do this after next practice. And if it was in a Pat setting, the next time that we would hear from him would probably be at some point during August during camp.
Yeah.
And someone would ask him about it, and he would just be like, next question.
Yeah.
Next question.
I think the issue and why the girlfriend thing is popping up is because most state universities are tied to the state. Head coaches are looked in a political fashion.
100%.
So I think their relationship status does garner some questions on where their decision making comes from. So if it's a single man with a 24-year-old girlfriend and he does a crazy decision, you're like, well, he's not even making great relationship choices. So
she's the head of your PR firm.
So I just think in college sports, relationship status for coaches matters.
This is why college football is the greatest. That's why it's the best. Because you got 130 of these teams out here, and one of them happens to be coached by Bill Belichick. What else for? I can't even say that. What else do you have for us, Rhyme Time?
Last week, Notre Dame and Clemson announced a 12-game series that begins in 2027. While I think this is great for college football, it could also be jeopardizing the series between Notre Dame and USC, who only have a contract through 2026. Could this affect one of college football's greatest rivalries?
I don't think so. I mean, do you, DeVier? It's Notre Dame, it's USC. They would be crazy to cancel that, even though USC is now in the Big Ten, Notre Dame still being independent. It'd be crazy to cancel that game.
Notre Dame wishes they could play in the Pac-10, in the Pac-12, and the ACC.
Yeah,
because you guys are just going to keep going to the coast of the country and playing these teams instead of just ignoring the heart of the country, who's right next to the Big
heartland.
Ten. In the SEC, we get it, guys. We see. You can hide behind the independent
got
schedule.
Purdue on the schedule this year.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make you feel better?
Well, that's a state rivalry, so you guys got to keep that. But honestly, you know what I wish they would do? Lock in that Indiana game with some Signetti. That's what I want to see.
That guy's bringing some smoke. Yeah. He brought a lot of pop back to the Hoosier State, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, they're scheduled this year. Out of the gates, I give them credit for this. I mean, they're doing Miami right out of the chute. Okay,
like that.
That's a pretty good one. And then they get the second leg of the home and home, because they did go down to Kyle Field last year and play A&M. They got Miami and A&M right out of the gates before they get a little bit of a respite with Purdue. And I do give them credit because they did schedule Arkansas. So, I mean, they do have 2 out of their first 4 games are within the SEC.
They got Northern Illinois on the schedule?
No, so they're going to be good this year. They're going to be fine, the Fighting Irish. And then they got Boise State at home and then USC on October 18th. Yeah. But to your point, they do have these classic, ACC, Pac-10 teams with a smattering of other in there.
With a little bit of competition, just in the middle. That's all. Just a little pro-style team that they might play. But I do got a lot of love for Notre Dame. And you talk about that A&M game being one of the big games for them. I remember last year that really helped that group get rolling. And they kind of went on a tear after Northern Illinois. But I just can't get with Indy and this Clemson stuff.
Yeah, I'm okay with them scheduling Clemson because I feel Clemson has established themselves as a pretty dominant college football brand. Dabo's got a couple of national championships. But, yeah, I look at them and then I say, all right, Clemson, Notre Dame, for the next 10 years, it's going to be a good rivalry.
Yeah.
But it's not what USC is. It's not what the Notre Dame USC is. So to your point, Reimer, no, I don't think it can challenge the Notre Dame USC rivalry. I think there will probably be a lot of good games in there, but they also don't have 100+ years in history to be able to count up and make up for that.
Are you on board with Josh Pate's sentiments about Clemson rising back to the top of college football this year?
I don't know if they're going to be at the top of college football, but I like what Dabo has done, and Dabo's done it wholly uniquely, too. I mean, he doesn't even mess with the portal, at all. Was it last year that he didn't bring in one single portal guy? I mean, he is still out there saying that, well, we can recruit with the best of them, and we're going to do that. We're going to develop them. I think they're going to be a good team this year. You look at them last year, DeVier. I mean, they had a down year for Clemson standards, and they still made it to the college football playoffs.
Yep. And they got a guy that's probably going to get his name called, in the first 20 picks next year.
Cade?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Cade's pretty good.
He's a guy.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating to look at Clemson and juxtapose them with what they are with Notre Dame. But, no, I don't think that rivals the USC-Notre Dame game at all. No.
They've kind of had some good games in the last decade where they kind of had a little series going, and then the 2020 year where they joined the ACC for that little stint that they had. And, just looking back at it, they played in the Cotton Bowl. That wasn't a great game. But 2015, Clemson beat them by 2. So, 2020, Notre Dame won 47-40 in a shootout. I
feel like they played one game in the total slop, like Notre Dame and Clemson. I might be making that up, like total rain game, washout. It may have been Notre Dame, Florida State, maybe when DJU was at Florida State, because I remember those two playing, or maybe it was Clemson and Florida State at that time. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, which team is more interesting to you this year? Notre Dame coming off a national championship berth, or Clemson and kind of this Renaissance 2.0?
I'm interested in Notre Dame. I want to see this consistency. I want, Marcus Freeman to continue to build a program and build this team back. And I think they have, a lot of returning starters. So I want to see some Jeremiah Love, and I'm interested in Notre Dame. And what's so crazy? When I went to the national championship, and I've just been thinking about this while I'm sitting here, their fans were so almost like, I hope we get you guys today. It was like, well, why are you guys expecting to lose? And when you think about Notre Dame and why they continue to stay in the independent model, and we're like, oh, you don't play against this team. From my standpoint, as I've gotten older, I understand sometimes the business just makes sense.
Yeah.
You make it to the Natty, and guess what? I don't need to split this check with anyone.
Nobody. I don't need to split it with
sense.
Maryland. I don't need to split it with UCLA. No, it's mine.
It's mine. It's all mine. So I know why their fans were kind of smiling at me, because they're like, hey, we still won.
Yeah, and now we've got a treasure trove to come back maybe next year and beat you guys.
Irish.
Or hopefully somebody else can, so we don't have to see you guys again in the national championship game. Yeah, 100%.
They're smarter than all of us.
Hey, we've got some ex-Buckeyes climbing up the coaching ladder in both college and the NFL. That's coming at you next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores, so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Check out this fresh deal on General Mills Giant Size Cereal. Select 20 to 29-ounce varieties or 3 for only $10 when you buy 3 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
We've got a story about a little bean doing big things. Soybeans are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we use every day. And Ohio's farmers are growing some of the world's best soybeans. By using and eating soy-based products, you make a positive impact locally and globally. Say hey to the largest ag export in the U.S. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny, warm, mid-70s, but also tracking some scattered showers and a few storms on this Wednesday. As we go through the night, temperatures down to around 60 for Thursday morning. On our way to a warm and a bit more humid afternoon. We'll see a scattered shower possible Thursday afternoon, back in the mid to upper 80s, but a 10 weather impact alert Thursday night for the possibility of strong storms into Friday morning. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
We're very close to Buckeye football. Very close. Uncomfortably close. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Coming up here at 7:30 this morning, or this evening, Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program. Excited to get to talk to JP. Where'd you play golf today? I know a golf outfit when I see one, and that's...
Me? I golfed at Pinnacle today.
Okay, Pinnacle, nice.
Yep.
Never played out there. Heard their greens are fantastic.
You gotta come out one day.
I'll come out.
Yeah.
I'll come out. I'll do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Looks like a lovely place.
It's nice.
Yeah. It's not too far from the city either. I mean, that's not a far drive from here.
Grove,
downtown.
Tucky?
Yeah. Right down, what is that? Is that 104?
Yeah.
Yeah, 104. Get off by the old Phoenix Links.
Yep.
You ever play there?
No. Well, I've driven past there a bunch of times because, I'm from Cincy, so... Yeah. 71 South and North was the first highway I conquered as a young driver. So I know that golf course you're talking about. It just smelled like crap over there. But
I saw a golf ball get eviscerated between power lines one time. It's gone. Rhyme time, you're from the South. I bet you played Phoenix Links. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I have not.
No, well, I mean, it's dead now. It's gone for the last few years. Rest in peace.
I've seen it, but I think it disappeared by the time I got into my golfing days.
Well, wasn't it like something with the land under there?
It's a landfill.
The landfill, yeah. Well, the chemical was, were people getting sick when they were playing?
I don't know what the whole deal was.
Who knows? Don't want to say, things that aren't confirmed on air.
That doesn't stop most people, Just say some wild and speculative things.
Yeah, got out today. It's that time. It's that time of year. I got that itch. I want to swing, so I didn't know you were such a big golf guy.
Yeah, I like golf. I picked up golf. I worked at a golf course in my later high school years, and then so that was nice. It was a place in Dayton. I was born and raised in Dayton. It's a place called NCR Country Club. So you have 36 holes. So I was working all the time.
Where'd you go to high school?
Centerville.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You're
I was
elk.
Yeah. I'm an elk, proud elk, and So I'd work there. And it was great. Met a couple of buddies who worked over there. The Wright State head coach for golf actually now worked with me. Was a good friend at Centerville of mine, and it was good to kind of get into the golf industry. Then I came up here, went to school at Ohio State, and then started caddying at Muirfield. So that was fun. That was a good time. Worked over there for 5 years or so. And then a couple of my good friends from Muirfield left, went over to Columbus Country Club. I followed them over to work.
What's your favorite hole in Muirfield?
That's a great question. Number 12 would get a lot of the answers. That's a tough hole to go against. But I do like 14. 14, the short par 4 is fun. That's a good. You know where that big party village is at? 14's a good one.
Yes.
What about you?
14. Is that uphill?
14's down.
Downhill, yeah.
Tee box up, elevated tee box. Comes down. You got a little ravine kind of running through it. A big water feature on the right hand side.
I know about 14.
Yeah, 14, I think.
Yeah. I would say at Muirfield, I'm gonna go with 16 par 3.
Okay, over the water.
I parred it twice. That's why.
Nice. Look at you go.
Yeah, but I'm playing whites. Yeah.
No, there's no way you're not playing the blue tees or let alone the memorial tees. That's crazy.
It's my favorite hole because it's the only one I probably parred on when I'm playing.
That's a good hole to par on.
Yeah,
that's not easy. That water's there on the left. Usually naturally bail out to the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit the green on 16, you're feeling good.
Yeah. So
what's your scores on 17 and 18 though?
See, those are that's that par 4, and then we're talking that downhill par 4. And then you got to shoot it back up. Yeah.
17's a monster for me.
It is a monster. Even just thinking about that walk coming off that hill going to 18 is tough.
Once you make it up past 15 at Muirfield, and this is even for the Memorial Tournament, all right? This isn't even if you're just tee box to green, you're inside the ropes. This is if you're going. If you plan on walking the entire course, which I wouldn't plan to do unless you're there for multiple days or you're there all day, all right? Take your time and do it because it's not an easy walk.
No, it's
but we would always, so when we were caddying, once we got up to the green on 15, we crested the hill to the 16th tee box. We felt like the round at that point was basically over from a walking perspective.
From a walking perspective. You're kind of all in the same area.
Yeah.
You can get out and kind of get in the fairway. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, we felt like after that, we would be able to make it. And then if you had an early morning loop and you were out there caddying and it was a busy day, then you'd set the bags down right after 18 tee box, pick up 2 more, and then go right back to number 1 tee. Well, those were monster days. 36
holes. Tip the caddies well, guys. Please. Man. Tip the caddies well.
Please do. If there was one thing you took away from the show, tip your caddies, tip your bartenders, tip your servers. Be nice to the service industry because they're very nice to you. So I saw this news from earlier this week, and we'll have Joshua Perry on at 7:30. He can talk a little bit more about this. But his former roommate, former Buckeye Cam Williams, hired co-director of player personnel for the Denver Broncos. How about that?
This is the closest Buckeye to a GM spot.
Yeah, we're close. We're closing in on it.
We're getting close. This is a huge, position, director of player personnel. You're in charge of understanding everything about every player on and off the field, everything about their negative attributes, everything about their positive attributes, things that they need to improve, things that they do well, ways that you can maximize this, and you have to be able to communicate this stuff to the general manager who manages the decisions on if this guy plays, and then also communicate this stuff to coaches who have to make decisions weekly.
You're probably doing more as a director of player personnel than the GM.
Well, that's where it's like, you do the work and then the guy makes the decision.
Good or bad, right? Good or bad.
Good or bad. Well, he'll take the negative and he'll take the positive. But player personnel, you do a lot of that, that groundwork, and all the scouts kind of report to you and type of thing. I wanted to go down that road at one time in my life. I love evaluating talent and finding guys who can play and things that make them good and what separates guys.
Or kind of the motor, what motivates you to go every day. Because you know this, I mean, DeVier, it's a long season you get into the NFL, especially when you get immediately out of the season and whether you made the playoffs or whether you didn't. Like, now you've got to get back to step one of climbing up that mountain. You know, like the off season is such a harsh time, and I know it's good and you get to spend it with friends and family, but a lot of people don't see 99% of the work that these guys are putting in during the offseason. Coaches especially, too. I mean, you want to talk about grinding over thousands of hours of tape. There's people in NFL organizations doing that.
Oh, man, the player personnel guys, to me, like the draft is almost like it's like an NCAA thing where it lives and breathes, like 12s beat 5s. Like there's things about the draft that happen that you almost don't want that information to come out because it would leave you at a disadvantage. Yeah. There's things that Howie Roseman knows about the draft that none of us will ever know because it's been allowed him to just.
He's pretty good at it.
He's pretty good at it, right? Yeah. He's probably the best guy doing it right now. And
it seems so easy, too. They pick like big linebackers from Alabama and Georgia and big defensive linemen. You're like, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for Cam Williams. This is a huge step. That's a great field to be in. The KYP field, the Know Your Personnel field.
For sure. So that was a big congratulations to him. Before that, he was the director of college scouting and then spent the last decade in New England before taking promotion with the Broncos this past week. So a big congratulations to him. We'll talk to Joshua Perry. That was his former roommate when he got to Ohio State. So he'll have an interesting perspective on that. And then I did see this earlier in the week. Your guy, Santonio Holmes, DeVier, joined the college coaching ranks. Central State, right out here in Wilberforce, between, is that Xenia and I want to say like Cedarville, if I'm not looking at a map, but I think that's where Wilberforce is. Central State announced the hiring of the former Ohio State wide receiver. It's his new wide receivers coach on Tuesday. So we got a lot of Buckeyes now making their moves in front offices and a new one entering the realm of college football.
It's a funny story. I found we were just talking about golf. Santonio Holmes is probably the best, golfer in terms of like wide receivers that I would say I play with. So we golf a lot.
Yeah.
And
you lose a golf partner.
I'm like, Tone, let's play. You took a job, man. I'm sorry, Tone. Congratulations. I'm happy for you, but I'm mad. But no, super happy for Tone, man. Him and Tony Carter, former Florida State corner.
Tony Carter, head coach now.
Head coach at Central State. Excited for those guys.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Although it does derail your golf games.
I'll find somebody else.
You'll be okay. Yep. You've got a big enough Rolodex. You've got You're on your phone for 19 hours a day. You can find someone in that contact list, all right?
Sorry. I got to apologize to my family, man. Sorry, guys.
Hey, when I dropped 70 pounds at the Waken 180, it finally felt like finishing a massive home renovation. Job done, everything looking sharp. But listen, it gets better. Had my first free monthly maintenance visit, and I found out I lost another 4 pounds without really even trying. It's like discovering an extra room in your house you never even knew was there. Awaken 180, it's not about meds or quick fixes. It's like learning exactly how to stock your fridge and your pantry with all the right tools. I still eat plenty. I still feel satisfied. And now making healthy choices is like second nature. Like flipping the light switch on in the dark in the first try. My body's firing on all cylinders. I'm down 75 pounds total without meds or hunger tricks, just real education on eating smarter and feeling fantastic. Call Awaken 180 or you can visit awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, once you learn this blueprint, your only regret is to not call them sooner. Their phone number, 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. The venerable Joshua Perry, he joins us coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent to help you pick a policy that's right for you. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Hey, got DeVier hanging out with me tonight. Been an awesome show so far. Right now, we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our guy. He is Central Ohio legend. He is Joshua Perry. Hey, JP, what's happening?
How you doing, guys? Brandon, I woke up Monday, and, it felt different. I was waiting for the phone to ring. So I was glad when you texted me today. I'm glad I get to spend some time with you guys.
Well, I'm disappointed in those guys that they didn't reach out to you, JP, but we are glad to have some of your time here this evening. Hey, DeVier and I were just talking about your guy because we saw this. I think this came down yesterday, JP. Broncos hired former Buckeye Cam Williams now as the co-director of player personnel, and you've got a unique relationship with him, right? I mean, he was your roommate when you guys first got here?
Yeah, I lived with him actually for 3 years, it's been amazing to watch his rise through the NFL ranks. He got a job with the Patriots as a scouting assistant right out of college, and then just kind of rose up through that organization. He was a national scout there, one of the youngest in the NFL, and obviously a huge deal, too, as a young black guy to be in that position. But to move on now with the Broncos, I talked to him today. He said it was a great opportunity for him, and I believe him. He's remarkable, super sharp guy, just really trustworthy. And he's got a knack for evaluation, too. I know he was really hands-on with the Patriots draft this year before he left. I actually saw him at Notre Dame's Pro Day, which is really cool, bumping into some guys. But I saw him. I saw Warren Ball, who's with the 49ers right now in a scouting role, who I lived with my freshman year, interestingly enough. And then Brian Mason, who is a linebacker GA. He's the special teams coach for the Colts. So it's interesting seeing all the connections all around. But Cam's one of my guys, and I'm glad to see him rising through the ranks.
Absolutely. I mean, JP, by the way, what's up, bro? We'll catch up on that.
Been a little minute.
Yeah, I know. For sure. but I wanted to ask you about what you know about Cameron Williams in terms of you saying he has a knack to evaluate. I guess I'm asking, when you rise as a player personnel fast and you're young, is it because the decisions or the people that you suggest pan out? So one might say, hey, like maybe Cam Williams said, hey, Patriots, you guys should draft a guy named Travion Henderson before I get out of here. I'm telling you, this is the guy. So does he just have an ability to do his research and lead people in the right direction?
He does. And the interesting thing about his background, his dad played for the Patriots for a while. So, he grew up as a football guy, and he's one of the smartest players that I had been around on any level. And I would talk to him about it, and he'd be like, when I was a kid, my dad would sit me down and we'd be watching games, and he would be like, this is what cover 2 looks like, and this is why teams run cover 2, and this is the cover 3, so on and so forth. And so he has a knowledge about how players fit into different systems and how they translate into other systems just based off of that background alone. But it's always that thing where it's like, guys, and he didn't play a ton here at Ohio State, but he was one of our guys who was like a special teams ace, and he was the quote-unquote quarterback of the punt team, and Urban trusted him to make sure that everything went right in that sense. And you see a lot of times where, like, the guys who are maybe All-Americans don't end up being the best when it comes to becoming a coach or getting into personnel. But the dudes who have watched a lot of football, maybe sit on the sidelines a little bit more, end up having this ability to just see the game differently and identify players and just kind of learn the game from that standpoint. And so I think from also just like being around great players and being in the film room and being a guy who had a voice in there, he is a football guy. So this makes perfect sense to me that he's been able to rise to this point. But also, I think when you get behind closed doors and they start having conversations about what their draft board looks at like and what their intel is and what players fit the way that they want to do things, I think his ability to communicate that and then ultimately build trust through the evaluations is one of the reasons why he was able to rise. Because I know how he was behind the scenes in our film room and when he would see certain things there. And so I feel like it'd be the same thing if he was, sitting in a draft room and they were asking for his input.
I feel like it's a pretty good situation to go to out in Denver as well. Like that's a pretty good spot. You got Sean Payton out there. They're throwing a lot of money different places.
Bo Nix is a good quarterback.
He is a good quarterback, and they got a really good young room in there. As we check in with Joshua Perry here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Did your dad teach you 12 personnel or cover 2, JP, when you were watching football as a kid? I mean, was he doing that?
Dude, I'll tell you, the one thing my dad told me was funny. I played running back for most of my youth, middle school, high school career. And the one thing he told me when I was in the 4th grade, the first year we were playing tackle ball, was just because somebody hits you doesn't mean you have to go down.
That's so good. That's great advice.
It was really good advice because then I was just running through dudes' faces because I was kind of big as a 4th grader. So my dad, with his infinite wisdom, was like, hey, man, it's a collision sport, and just because they touch you doesn't mean you have to go down. I've just kind of figured that part out.
Absolutely. Look, I learned cover 2. You want to know who taught me that? Coach Hazel. I learned it when I got here.
Oh, yeah.
I used to just, hey, what's my route, man? I'm running.
I'm going to go run it.
Right. I had no understanding that stuff. These kids are way out in front of us, Perry, right? With the 7-on-7 and all this stuff they have access to, man. It's a different world.
It is different. I felt the same way. I had good high school coaches, and they taught the basics and the fundamentals of the different stuff I need to know. I got to college, and it was like we were speaking a foreign language in terms of, coverages and fronts and all the things that I had to learn, alignments. And these kids now, and part of it is, something I don't agree with, where I think young people spend too much time on football, right, as their individual sport. And I'm a firm believer of multi-sport athletes. And you can look at the NFL draft numbers every year where guys played basketball, where guys ran track, where guys were wrestlers. And most of the dudes getting drafted, I think the number was somewhere between 70 and 80% were multi-sport athletes in high school. But the idea that they have spent maybe a little bit more time on football allows them to come in a place where you're not having to teach them as much up front. It's where you get guys like Jeremiah, and I don't know his whole background. I know he was a multi-sport guy, but certainly
he came from a different planet.
He did, and that matters. But mentally, he was in the game, right? Like, you see these guys where they're just phenomenal athletes and running past guys. Jeremiah was different in terms of his understanding of football as a freshman as well. And that stuff matters. So I agree with you, Depot. These dudes are way ahead of the curve. I came in early and still struggled my freshman year. So I give a lot of credit to them.
Hey, Joshua, I did see that there may be an impending change. DeVier and I were talking about it a little bit earlier. So as we know, the top 4 conference champions received a bye this year in the college football playoff. Apparently there might be a little change on tap for this year's version of the CFP, with that going by the wayside and them just going with straight rankings and not including the conference champions with a guaranteed bye. Are you for that or are you against that?
No, I'm for it. I always felt like the best way to do it was to rank them 1 through 12. And if you said that the conference champs, the top 4 conference champs, were automatic qualifiers, I'd be okay with it. I don't necessarily love it because I don't think there's a ton of balance, but you could talk me into the idea that the top 4 conference champs should have a place in the college football playoffs. But the idea that you get a bye just because you're one of the champs, it created such an imbalanced bracket where everybody talks about Oregon's path and, how upset they could have been. Like, you got to beat good teams, and I totally get that. Ohio State's path ended up being very difficult. because of this. And then you look at a team like Penn State, and it's no shade to them, but like a lot of people would have wanted that draw. I'm sure Oregon was looking at them like, y'all lost us in the conference championship game, and your reward was the path that they got. So I'm here for this idea of straight ranking them 1 through 12 and then letting them play off like that because you get a more balanced bracket.
Absolutely. Just want to look forward to, next football season. I know this time of year, Josh, I know you're doing your research and you might not been able to form your full opinions yet, but I'm going to ask for a preview. I know you're ahead of me and stuff. Who can we expect from the Big Ten to surprise us, and who can we expect to be let down?
So the surprise, and I don't think this is necessarily a surprise to people who've been paying attention to the offseason, Illinois is in a really good spot to take a big step. They could be like the Indiana of last year, where they've got Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, returning. They've got their offensive line basically intact. Their wide receiver room is going to be the question because they had some really good players leave, but they've got a lot of returning players on their defense as well. And so when you start to evaluate them and how veteran they are, and Brett Bielema, I think, is a phenomenal football coach too, and he's great. Anytime I've been on campus, he's actually let me sit in meetings and I watch the way he does stuff. I think that he is as good as anybody in the Big Ten in terms of coaching. They have an opportunity. The flip side is the team that I mentioned, Indiana, who kind of jumped onto the scene last year. They've got questions. They got Fernando Mendoza out of the portal, who I think is going to be really good. But I got to spend some time with Indiana this spring, and they have been honest about the idea that they're concerned, and it's not necessarily the offense, but on defense. They lost a couple of guys who are going to the next level off of their defensive line, and they have struggled to reload there, and what they ask some of their defensive linemen to do are tough jobs. They feel okay about their linebacker room in terms of their starters, but the depth is a question there, and then their secondary, they've also got a couple of questions. Now, the thing that they do have is impact players on each level of the defense that are coming back, right, on the defensive line and linebacker room, and they've got one of the best corners in the Big Ten. Yeah. But I do think this is kind of is Curt Cignetti really going to be able to reload this thing, or is it more of a challenge now that he's in the Big Ten to run back a result that nobody expected last year?
JP, before we get you out of here, do you have your screen time report on your phone like every Sunday? Does it ping you?
Yeah, it does ping me.
All right, how is it for you? Come on, everybody on this show has shared, and it's not as bad as DeVier's, I promise you.
It's not as bad as mine.
It's not as bad as Reimer's either. I know you got a lot of irons in the fire. I know you're a busy guy.
What was your daily average last week?
Daily average screen time. All right, that's pretty bad too. It's not as bad as DeVier's. Do you want to take a guess at what DeVier's is?
Okay, so I will say nobody can be as bad as my former coworker who people see on ESPN, Shams Charania. That man would average minimum 18 hours of screen time a day. And I don't know how he did anything, but he was always chasing down scoops. Depot, I'm gonna say a good 13 is the answer.
It's 1854.
Oh my gosh! So
you're having your second kid, so you'll see. You'll see.
You're Shams Jr. and that's perfectly fine. Shams is doing all right in life.
You're having your second kid. You'll see. They said have kids, Josh. That's what they said.
That's what they said.
Yeah, 10
I was walking, by the way, Beamer. I know you asked for an update on that, but he got it going, and now he's just everywhere. So. He says a ton of words, too, which I appreciate. He takes after his father in that regard.
Did he do his first athletic thing that you kind of overreacted about? Like
5 star.
Yeah, 5 star.
5 star.
So, yes, I'm really proud of the fact that this kid is super lean. You can see the deltoids and the biceps, the triceps, and the whole deal. So anytime he's around something that he can pull himself up on, he does. But he legit can do a pull up right now, which is amazing. Multiple.
So natural upper body strength if you were evaluating him.
He also he's in that no phase, and he's got a hell of a swipe. So I'm going to teach him how to rush the passer.
I love it.
13 months old. He is going to be an All-American rusher one day.
Put a heavy bag in front of him, too. Maybe some speed bags. Get him a world championship in boxing. JP, always appreciate the time. You're the best. Enjoy your evening, buddy, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
All right, appreciate you.
There you go. Our guy, Joshua Perry, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. #Buckeyes. Next, it's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hi there, I'm Ryan Reynolds, and like most actors, I have a list of things that I like to have on set. It's called a rider. It's just little things like wind chimes being blown by a easterly breeze, a 7-year-old calico cat to purr on my lap, and, of course, 2 freshly cracked eggs scrambled with crispy hash brown, sausage crumble, and creamy chipotle sauce from Tim Hortons. It smells amazing. Now, where did I put that hand-carved wooden spoon? From my rider to Tim's menu, try my new scrambled eggs loaded breakfast box.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with 0 experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Donato's is bringing you huge savings on a large pizza. For a limited time, get any large one-topping Donato's pizza for just $10.99 when you order online and pick it up. That's right, just $10.99. I'm going with that pepperoni. But hey, you pick your favorite topping, then pick up your large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 when you order online using promo code PICKUP. That's promo code PICKUP. Pick up your Donato's and save today.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around a golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-2845-44. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
#Buckeyes final segment for us here on this Wednesday. Saw this last night, DeVier, for hashtag Buckeyes. Braylon Nash, get to know the name. Buckeye commitment, the Ohio State basketball team. You guys ever play many like board games or TV games growing up or now as a family? Ever do that?
Yeah, we play some.
What's your favorite? You know, like a Family Feud? You enjoy that?
No, we like some Monopoly,
Okay.
or we'll get into Uno.
Monopoly's banned in our house. Can't play it. Too many high emotions, too many yells and screams. Can't play Monopoly. Banned.
Can't you and your wife can't get
No,
it?
no, can't play it. Can't get it out. Can't play it. Can't do it. That and Risk is a touchy subject. I don't want to talk about Risk unless I win. But anyways, Braylon Nash, commitment for your Ohio State Buckeyes, actually was on Family Feud last night. He was on the Family Feud. We didn't have a chance to watch it. We were in here. We were doing the show. But this was Braylon Nash. And the question, I'll just let Steve Harvey take it away.
Braylon, one answer left. Give it to me, you win the game. If it's not there, you're still alive. One strike. In your nightmares, you're taking a shower with your who?
Your mother, Steve.
Yo, this is fucking weird.
That's good.
He did it. He did it. It was weird, too, because I was watching that. I was watching some clips from today in Braylon Nash. I think, like, mother-in-law was in there, and then, like, they were all direct family members. So, Braylon Nash, congratulations to them. I don't know if they went on to win the Family Feud game, but I would imagine that would be a pretty intense situation.
So, his sister is Jason Preston's wife?
Is it?
The guy that played at Ohio University?
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the picture from Family Feud. It looks like Preston is there. So that's actually pretty cool. I like that connection.
That's really nice, right?
Yeah, I think that guy was a good player. So I'm excited for him to get here. Local guy, local product, get into Ohio State. Look at Diebler. He gets it, man.
Yeah, he does. He does get it.
He gets it. He knows how to connect with these guys at that high school level. I love it.
He's an Ohio guy, too, you know? He's an Ohio guy. He gets it. Rhyme time. I know you're over there grinning from ear to ear. You watched the entire piece on Deebs talking about his lineup and Christoph Tilley coming in. I know that you're excited for this year with him.
Oh, yeah. I love what he's done in the portal so far, bringing in experience rather than last year was just based off of kind of potential with coming from Blue Bloods and kind of had high expectations for it. But now you kind of see it in college basketball. You got to attack the mid-major level and guys that are succeeding there. And Tilley and I think Knoll have been doing that, and I think they'll be key pieces next year for sure.
Rhyme time is, can I say this is a tournament team? I feel like this is a tournament team. I have to check
I like to
with you
believe
because
that.
you are the senior authority here when it comes to NCAA bracketology.
You have to get Bruce to a tournament before he
Absolutely
leaves. It would be a travesty if he leaves here without an NCAA tournament.
He deserves an appearance.
There is no one in college basketball more deserving of a tournament appearance, March Madness run than Bruce Thornton.
Absolutely.
100%. But I did see that from last night. I don't know if Braylon Nash's family won the Family Feud, but that would be a pretty cool thing to go out on. When you were a young parent, DeVier, we were just talking to Joshua Perry about this. Was there a first moment you realized you're like, my kid's an athlete? You get a wry smile. You're like, yeah, we're going far. We're going places in life.
Yep.
What was the moment?
I think he had picked up a ball and he could throw it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, put it here. And he was like putting it where I wanted it to be. And I was like, man, this kid has the kids call it aimbot. Like he has aimbot.
Yeah, I've heard of aimbot.
Mm-hmm. And he is turning out. He's a pretty good shooter. So I think that early prediction.
The early aimbot.
I'm gonna start trusting my early predictions. Yeah.
You should have gotten into a player development.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at its core. You're early on in the scouting report. With
there it is. Early on, out the womb.
We were. So my son is rather large. He's a big human being. He's 40 pounds. He's 2 years old. Built like a little dwarf from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a blue-collar, corn-fed kind of guy, Ohio guy.
Yep.
And so we were down and we were playing golf, what I was telling you about on Friday, and we were playing with the assistant offensive line coach for the Bengals. It's like, all right, coach, when are we starting to, get him in pass sets? Mm-hmm. I played offensive line, and I showed him a couple of pictures. He was like, he's not really an offensive line type guy. He's like, you want to get him more into some interior rush mechanisms. He's like, we need to line. He's like a
Graham.
yeah. He's like, he's a nose or he's a shade. Like we got to get him firing off the ball quick into the backfield.
There it is. And see that body style that you're alluding to. We got a family friend that's built like that. Kids don't know their strength. So I'm pretty sure he jumps on your lap and you're like, oh.
Yeah, 100%. We wrestle every night, usually before bed, and like he'll do leg press against me. Like
he probably can kick you back.
Well, yeah, when I'm trying to like put a diaper on him and get him in a sleep sack and everything, he's the world's strongest kid. I can't like move him. If he doesn't want to go back over on his back, he's going to fight like heck to try to not do that. But yeah, then he like pushes me off of him with his legs. I'm like, dude, I'm a big guy, and you're giving me quite the run for my money right now.
Man, yeah, you might have you one. Start working the hands.
I know, right?
Start working the hands.
Hand techniques. Just carry around heavy things. That's how you get old man strong. If you want the real key to success, just carry around heavy things, or just put your arms in a bucket of sand and just move them around.
The farmer mentality.
Yeah, right?
I like that. I'm with it. I like that mindset.
We got going tonight. You excited about the schedule release for the NFL or not?
Yeah, well, I need to get off my phone tonight. I need to sleep.
You need to get it off of it every night, it sounds like.
I need to lock it and throw it away. So I need to fix that.
DeVier, I had a great time hosting with you tonight, man. It was awesome. Getting to know you. It's been a real pleasure. And let's do it again next Wednesday, all right?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be pretty awesome. Thanks for everybody for popping in tonight. Coming at you next, we got the Reds and the White Sox currently on the top of the third inning. We will take you down to Cincinnati next. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
For over 30 years, Schumacher Homes has been building affordable custom homes throughout the Buckeye State. Experience true customization on your land, your way, without any compromises. Come visit any of our 9 Ohio model home and design studio locations to see the latest in design trends and learn about our award-winning building process, or start online at SchumacherHomes.com. You'll be surprised how affordable a custom home will be. Schumacher Homes, proud home building sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.